There we go. Let's go ahead and start this segment out, my bitches. So, Trump administration to deport hundreds of immigrants even as a judge orders their removals to be stopped. See, this kind of ties back into the last segment that we talked about, where Trump literally can do whatever the fuck he wants and there's who's going to stop him. The courts, oh god no, he's got a military. In fact, they're making a joke about this, saying that it's illegal for a judge to say, oh hell no, don't do that. And you know, I think, let me pull that source up, but Trump calls judge to be impeached. But let me quick go down and through here. Judge James issued an order temporarily blocking the... Okay. So let's see. I think it's this one. Yeah, so this comes from ABC News about 3 hours ago. So, Trump continues to call for judges' impeachment after Chief Justice's rebuke. We'll get to that momentarily. So, the Trump administration has transferred hundreds of immigrants to El Salvador, even as a federal judge issues an order temporarily barring the deportations under an 18th century wartime declaration, aka the Alien Enemies Act, which we can read more about that. Before we do that, let's go ahead and we're not going to read from the biased White House sources. Remember, that is all political. We're going to read from non-biased independent journalists. I know, independent journalists can be pretty fucking biased, I get it, but not to the extent that the White House is biased. Like, holy crap. The U.S. deported hundreds of immigrants after President Donald Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act for the first time since World War II. I guess that's the... Wait. So I guess we'll read here. So a federal judge barred the Trump administration Saturday from carrying out deportations under sweeping 18th century law. You know what? No, I don't want to read it from this source. I actually want to read what the... I love you too, baby. I want to read exactly what the Alien Enemies Act is. The Alien Enemies Act of 1798, was it? Here we go. This detention and deportation power poses, get the fuck out of here, an alarming risk of abuse and rights violations in both wartime and peacetime. What is the Alien Enemies Act? The Alien Enemies Act of 1798 is a wartime authority, a tyrannical authority, one might say, that allows the president to act as a dictator in order to detain or deport the natives and citizens of any enemy nation. I added that part about the whole dictator part in there. It does not say that here. They are way more neutral than I am. The law permits the president to target these immigrants without a hearing and based only on their country of birth or citizenship. Although the law was enacted to prevent foreign espionage and sabotage in wartime, it can and has been wielded against immigrants who have done nothing wrong. So basically Japanese people, oh, you're on my fucking ugly ass face and not even seeing what the fuck I'm reading. So this is what I'm reading, you all. This is the kind of shit I'm reading. I really need to get more tentative to my stream and actually act like I'm in charge of this fucking thing. Maybe I need some editors. I don't fucking know. I don't know myself. I'm trans. I don't even know my own gender. I don't know what a woman is. But anyway, let's get back to this. So basically, if you're Japanese, and then you basically get sent to a concentration camp, or as they were calling it, internment camps, because a bunch of weirdos from the Japanese empire at the time, that was also part of the Axis with Italy and Germany. Well, it doesn't matter whether or not you're against what the Japanese actually did to Pearl Harbor. Into the camps you go, you dirty, like inferior, as we've decided. So therefore, God forbid you get any sort of dignity or due process because America decided you're an enemy of the country. So, let's see. It is an overbroad authority that may violate constitutional rights in wartime and is subject to abuse in peacetime. Has the Alien Enemies Act been used in the past? Yes. The Alien Enemies Act has been invoked 3 times, each time during a major conflict: the War of 1812, World War I, and World War II. In World Wars I and II, the law was a key authority behind detentions, expulsions, and restrictions targeting Germans, Austro-Hungarians, Japanese, and Italian immigrants based solely on their ancestry. The law is best known for its role in Japanese internments, a shameful part of U.S. history, for which Congress, presidents, and courts have apologized. Yeah, you can't apologize. Like, I don't care what you think. You cannot fucking apologize for ruining the lives of millions of people. Germany cannot apologize for the Holocaust. They have to fucking own that shit. They have to say, yeah, we did it. We're not going to do it again. There's nothing we can do to apologize. I'm sorry is not going to cut the horrors of what we did. I'm sorry is not going to cut all the inhumanity of what happened in those internment camps where the Japanese were placed. And likewise, when this is all fucking blown through, there is absolutely nothing that the United States can do to apologize for the trauma and all the immigrants that were disappeared. We're never going to see them again, even after the United States realizes how much we fucked up and apologized for it. We're never, ever, ever going to see. Like, yeah, we may apologize, but sorry is not going to fucking cut it. You cannot apologize for the Holocaust. There is nothing you can say to all of a sudden be like, yeah, we murdered 6 million Jews, but we're sorry, we won't do it again. Fuck off. Under what conditions can the president invoke the Alien Enemies Act? The president may invoke the Alien Enemies Act in times of, quote, declared war, or when a foreign government threatens or undertakes an invasion or predatory incursion. So let's look at what an invasion is. I feel like this is basic, but it's when a foreign force enters a country without that country's consent. Let's see. Let's see. Une invasion est une action militaire qui menace directement l'autonomie d'une nation ou territoire. So basically what this is saying, an invasion is a military action which is basically maliciously directed at the autonomy of a nation or a territory. Et fait partie des actions d'agression définies par l'Assemblée générale de la Nation Unie. I'm sure the French can probably translate that better, but They do acts of aggression against the General Assemblies of Nations in, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that translation, but a better, so basically, an occasion when an army or country uses force to enter or to end, take control. So basically what Russia's doing, right? So the reason I was reading in French is because right here, une invasion est une action militaire qui menace directement l'autonomie d'une nation ou territoire. Il fait partie des actes d'agression définis par l'Assemblée générale des Nations Unies en 1974, and then it cuts off there. But yeah, 1974. So, yeah, so right here, you know what I mean? I don't think I need to re-say it. Invasion is a military action which is maliciously directed at the autonomy of nations or territories, and they do acts of aggression. So like it's bad. Invading countries is bad. Now let's see what a predatory incursion is. So, predatory incursion in foreign policy. Doesn't really say. So it's almost like we made this shit up. It follows that an invasion or predatory incursion must amount to open hostilities or war. So looks like they're doing it kind of interchangeably. But basically, now that we know, hey, maybe this video can actually
President Trump has said he plans to use the Alien Enemies Act to detain and deport millions of immigrants. It's a 200-year-old wartime law that's only been used 3 times, and always during a declared war. The Alien Enemies Act was last used during World War II to imprison tens of thousands of innocent people of Japanese, German, and Italian ancestry who hadn't obtained U.S. citizenship. No president since then has even considered reviving the Alien Enemies Act. Until now.
I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798.
President Trump has said he'd proclaim a so-called migrant invasion. This could unlock the Alien Enemies Act's vast detention and deportation powers, allowing him to round up anyone from those countries who hasn't obtained U.S. citizenship, even if they're here legally, even if they have a green card. He could deport them without hearings, appeals, or any opportunity to defend themselves. It's impossible to instantly deport that many people. They would likely be held in detention camps for days, weeks, or longer. Targeted immigrants might have children born in this country who are U.S. citizens. These parents would face a terrible choice. They could have their U.S. citizen children placed in detention camps, waiting to be deported to a country they'd never known, or their family could be ripped apart. But none of this is inevitable. What Trump is planning to do is not just contrary to American values, it's illegal. The Alien Enemies Act can only be used in wartime. And discriminating against immigrants based on their place of birth or ancestry violates constitutional rights.
Yeah.
Courts have the power to stop it.
Explicitly. It is a violation. It is, discrimination. You are literally discriminating against someone from the place they were born, which I think, isn't that against international law? Is it against international law to... Well, I think that one's obvious. Bomb a hospital? Well, fucking course. Target immigrants based on their national origin. Equality and non-discrimination. The principle of non-discrimination prohibits distinction, exclusion, restriction, or preference on the basis of a law. International standards of governing migration policy. So yeah, looks it. Respecting human rights means refraining from human rights violations and blah. We only have a half hour left to get through this stream, so I'm just gonna. You get the picture. It's against international law. So, so what is this? No, this isn't the main attraction. So, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, I'm not going to say that because it's Fed posting. In a statement Sunday, responded to speculate, and yet earlier in the stream I said I wanted to kiss the leader of Hamas. But anyway, was flouting court orders. The administration did not refuse to comply with a court order. The order, which had no lawful basis, was issued after terrorist TDA aliens had already been removed from U.S. territory. Oh, Tren de Aragua. I think that's what that was. The acronym, yeah, Tren de Aragua gang, which Trump targeted in his usual proclamation that was released Saturday. In a court filing Sunday, the Department of Justice, which has appealed Boasberg's decision, said it would not use the Trump proclamation he blocked for further deportations if his decision is not overturned. Trump sidestepped a question over whether his administration violated court order while speaking to reporters, and there is a part... Wait. Fucking time of war. That's what Hitler said about the Jews. Shut the fuck up, Trump. Well, basically... Oopsie, too late. So essentially, where were we? Trump sidestepped in a question over whether his administration violated court order while speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One on Saturday evening. I don't know, you have to speak to lawyers about that. He said, although he defended the deportations, I can tell you this, these were bad people. Yeah, a 10-year-old with fucking brain cancer is a bad person, you fucking monster. Asked about invoking presidential powers used in times of war, Trump said this is a time of war, describing the influx of criminal migrants as an invasion. Again, a 10-year-old with fucking brain cancer is totally an invasion, you fucking monster. And you get mad that people think you're literally fucking Hitler? Trump's allies were gleeful over the results. Oopsie, too late. Salvadorian President Nayib Bukele, who agreed to house about 300 immigrants for a year at a cost of $6 million. You know, that $6 million would actually be great, you know, to help me get my my gender-affirming care. But, you know, Trump doesn't quite like that. He thinks that's bad use of taxpayer dollars. But deporting a 10-year-old with brain cancer is a good use of my taxpayer dollars. You see, I think I'm going to suspend my shitting on billionaires for not paying their fair share of taxes, because every dollar they're not spending on the taxes in this fucking economy is one less dollar going to this. It's one less dollar going to this shit. Likewise, we should also make tax evasion great again for the common person. Instead of you can only deduct a certain amount off of your tax returns, off of your W-2 income, with 401k contributions or some stupid shit so you don't have access to your hard-earned fucking money until you're old and dying, assuming you even live that fucking long. There should be a way for W-2 employees, such as everyday Walmart workers like the fucking janitor, to be able to pay $0 in taxes. I think if everybody paid $0 in taxes, we could burn this administration to the fucking ground. And there's another way to do it, so we don't have to do tax evasion. We can literally do a general strike. You can burn this fucking economy to the ground by doing a general strike. Which, by the way, the general strike, apparently, I'm hearing, is a general strike legal in America? Trigger warning, the answer might not be good. Most strikes are protected, but depending on the object or purpose of the strike, on its timing, or on the conduct of the strikers, you can be lawful, blah, blah, blah. When a protected strike ends, you are entitled to return to work. I think I recall hearing something about pass a law in the wake of the woman-led 1946 Oakland general strike. It outlawed actions taken by unionized workers in support of workers at other companies, effectively rendering both solidary actions and the general strike itself illegal. So this is once again, I'm not showing you what I'm reading, and I need to stop doing that. I need to be active in my stream. So yeah, this is so general strikes, this is illegal. But you know what? If the entire country decided that we've had enough and we all went out there while we were supposed to be working at the same time and we all marched, we could burn this economy to the fucking ground. And they would not be able to do their anti-social fucking deportations of 10-year-olds with brain cancer. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who negotiated an earlier deal with Bukele to house immigrants, blah, blah, blah. We sent over 250 alien enemy members of Tren de Aragua, which El Salvador has agreed to hold in their very good jails at a fair price that will also save our taxpayer dollars. Yeah. Like, I really want to fucking pay taxpayer dollars to house innocent people with no trial. Nothing like that. Steve Vladek, a professor at the Georgetown University Law Center, said that Boasberg's verbal directive to turn around the plans was not technically part of his final order, but that the Trump administration clearly violated the spirit of it. Just incentivizes further courts to be hyper-specific in their orders and not give the government any wiggle room, Vladek said. The immigrants were deported after Trump's declaration of the Alien Enemies Act of 1978, which has only been used 3 times in U.S. history. The law invoked during the War of 1812 and World Wars I and II requires a president to declare the United States as at war, which, of course, might I remind you guys, the president can't fucking do that. That has to be done by Congress. President cannot declare war against another country. You realize how many fucking times we would have already attacked other countries? I'm not saying we haven't done our fair share of wars. Just that we would have done as many of them as we have. We would have done far fucking more. If one fucking power-hungry dipshit in that Oval Office that hadn't gotten his head splattered fucking decided that X country was an enemy, I'm pretty sure Donald Trump would have declared Ukraine an enemy of the fucking... I'm pretty sure that he would have declared fucking Palestine as an enemy of the country and declared war against Ukraine, Palestine. Yeah, don't tell me he wouldn't fucking do that. Like, we see him claiming that we're at war with fucking, like, oh my god. Venezuelans are not all tren de Aragua. I feel like I shouldn't have to fucking say this, but we got a bunch of racists in this fucking shitty-ass country that, yeah, no. Venezuelan's government said in a statement Sunday rejected the use of Trump's declaration of the law, characterizing it as an evocative of the darkest episodes in human history, from slavery to the horrors of the Nazi concentration camp. Tren de Aragua originated in a infamously lawless prison in the central state of Aragua and accompanied an exodus of millions of Venezuelans, the overwhelming majority of whom were seeking better living conditions after the nation's economy came undone during the past decade. Trump seized on the gang during his campaign to paint misleading pictures of communities that he contended were taken over by what were actually a handful of lawbreakers. And is this the one that I don't know if this is the thing that on the gang, blah, blah, blah. I like this sign. Migrants are welcome here. Racists and slumlords are not. Abso-fucking-lutely. Get rid of the slumlords. Get rid of the racists. Can we deport racists? Can we deport Nazis? Send the Nazis to... We should send Nazis to their own private island. Just in order to entice them out of this country, we should say, hey, you want a permanent residence at this 5-star resort with palm trees and sand beaches and probably crabs in the crack of your ass. We didn't say that. You should get into this airplane and get the fuck out of this country and go to that happy resort away from polite society. I'd be okay with that. Let's see. The migrants began arriving in December at the end of 2022, which Colorado crime statistics show was a peak of the steady increase in crime in the state since the pandemic. 2023, when Venezuelans became a staple on some Denver street corners selling flowers or offering quick car windshield washes, frustrating many Colorado voters. Crime dropped statewide. Fuck, I can't fucking stop yawning. Anyway, I'm getting really fucking tired, you guys. I hate you. It's a rough neighborhood, slowly improving. On the campaign trail, Trump routinely cites specific blah, blah, blah. So basically, this goes back to my previous analogy. If I decide I wanted to skin Trump alive and wear his skin like a leather coat, that doesn't mean you have the right to oppress all trans people. Likewise, just because one dipshit decided he was going to burn an innocent woman alive does not mean that a 10-year-old with brain cancer should be deported to fucking Mexico. This is just crazy. Anyway, I'm getting really fucking triggered by this, and we only have a fucking 20 minutes left of this stream, so I'm going to end this segment right here. With that said, if you enjoyed this segment, please feel free to like and subscribe. Feel free to click the bell because it'll alert you whenever I post something on this channel. And if you don't click it, you won't know when I actually post something. And also feel free to follow me on X, on Blue Sky, on YouTube, and on Twitch. You can find me on X at QMatriarch. and on Blue Sky at kikirose420.bsky.social, on YouTube at MichaelaRose420, and Twitch, the same thing. You can also support the stream, support the show with $1 every, whenever you feel like you want to. It keeps the lights on, helps us pay the bills, and will eventually, hopefully, allow me to be able to do this full time. And, I would love to be able to give you guys the news full time because this shit's getting out of hand. But anyway, don't do MAGA, don't fall victim to cults, and I'll see you in the next segment. Bye-bye!